Disclosure: I was invited by the Panzermuseum. In this video we did a spontaneous tour of a BMP-1 in excellent condition. This BMP-1 served in the Nationale Volksarmee, which was the military of the German Democratic Republic, aka Cold War East Germany. This was filmed with a GoPro head mount, which should give you an interesting experience and hopefully convey some of the real-life experience better than the usual tours.
We're in a BMP-1. Here's the area for the soldiers. It's the rifleman. Here's the gunner position. Here's the commander's position. And here's the driver's position. And let's now go in here into the rifleman area. Now, here we have the rear hatch for getting out, and as you can see, it's not particularly big. You can adapt. You put in your AK to fire out. You have this here as well. This was also done in the early models as well, but generally this would be more like a situation like in a nuclear battlefield. Here you have one, here another one, and yeah, here adapters for air, and everyone also had his own periscope to look out, or vision block, fire extinguisher. And we should note this is in excellent condition. Yeah, it's really nice vehicle. Like in here, and here on the other side was the other compartment, which was very similar. And this was likely a holder for the RPG. Oh, here we have some thread. Here we have an adapter for the light machine gun, which is very interesting because if you look here, we have a hose for sucking off the smoke. Really nice adapter, and yeah, we can, although I don't know how to see out. Yeah, so it's currently closed. I think this lever would open it, but it does not work. Yeah, here we can see the position of the commander, and in front of him the driver. And here on our right, we have the position of the gunner. Oh, look at this. This would be likely where the recoil or something would be going on. Oh, and here this is an East German one, and here's the scheme how to position the belt, the ammo belts. Okay, so this seems to be a transport band, seems to be a part of the autoloader, and then yeah, and then one has to hit the button, which is apparently marked in Cyrillic with whatever that means. So I'm trying not to get in here without hitting my head and the GoPro. Oh. Oh, shit. My foot is apparently too big for standard regulation. Yeah, it's an PKT. PKT. Here's also instructions what to do before one removes the machine gun, the PKT. Oh, nice. You can actually see through the optics. It's greenish or yellowish. I'm not sure if I can manage this with the GoPro. Oh yeah. And here everything is still in Russian. Then here it's in German again, so it's both basically everything that is physical seems to be, so every plate is in German, but everything that wasn't the plate is in Russian. Although some plates are still in Russian. I guess this is the guideline, yeah, for shooting ranges. Yeah, it's in really nice condition. Here would be the ammo, so this is for the autoloader, the carousel. This was a vision slot. And yeah, we can see the gap actually, and I think this is a magnification of at least, guess 2 or 2.5. Hard to tell. And yeah, really nice vehicle. Here we have a lamp, I don't know what that is for. Another one over here. Oh, and this is for...
Did you show the head how to...
Oh, what is this? Oh, this is for the elevation of the gun. Do you see it? Does it move?
If you elevate it down, basically, other way. Basically,
This is up.
Yeah, up. The gun goes up, but the breech goes down. Then you can also show like the head where the Malyutka gets reloaded.
Oh, nice. Yes, if you look now, you see this hatch at the top. This is for reloading the Malyutka and tank guided missile at the top.
Or also called Zaga.
Or the NATO standard designation was, of course, Saga 86. Well, yeah. So where is the traverse of the turret? Do you see the traverse?
Normally you're using this with the vehicle. Yes, that's how you go up, and you can like rotate it that way. So
okay. So it would go automatically.
Yes, it's
So
automatic.
So the elevation can be done by hand. I wonder if there's a traverse wheel.
I mean, the traverse engine looks like it is here, but I'm not sure if it's for the autoloader actually.
Because it's kind of odd that you only can that you have a manual for the elevation, but not for the traverse. Don't you think? Or is this common? What is that? Why is there a huge spring there?
That's for the machine gun. You have like the mounting for the machine gun.
Yeah, this is why PKT is mentioned here, yeah.
And it all would just fall down into this.
So this is for
Capturing
the
the
cartridges, yeah, spent casings, yeah. And as you can see, you can go over from the one side into the turret, but not from this side. That's the same with the Marder as well, that you can only from one part of the fighting compartment you can enter the turret. Yeah. So now let's crawl to the commander position. Kennst du den Trick, wie man den... Okay. Okay, I found it out. So, yeah, you push this down. Then you go over here. Probably should go with my feet first. Okay, let's put that here. Yeah. So here, this is the commander's vision port, TKH 35 or something, AQP. This has night vision, and currently it's black, so I guess it's turned off. Here we have his vision periscopes. Here you can see the hatch. This is the radio on the left. A simplex, duplex. Current, frequency, you can select the channel. Here is something for the antenna, and here is the volume Here we can see part of the engine compartment. And yeah, and the engine seems to be directly next to the driver. And this is the intercom system, it seems, or part of the intercom system. Du bist vorher durchgekrabbelt, oder?
Ja.
So, let's move forward. Oh my god. Look at all these small switches on the panel for the driver. I'm a bit stuck now with, oh, I need to be careful because my audio is in my back pocket, so have to move carefully not to damage it. Yeah. In hindsight, not the best position. So here we go now. Let's see what we have here. These are the Scheinwerfer, the searchlights, or the lights. Yeah, it's on, off, cooling. So we are not entirely sure. This would be a kind of limitation. It could be the lights for determining the distance or something, but it could also be like it limits the RPM or something. Spark plug, preheater, water, the battery main switch, and Begrenzungsüberschreitung. Apparently the limitation, if one crosses the limitation, this one would light up. So I don't know. Electrical cooling pump is off if this lights up. This is the starter. This is the pressure air starter. So I think this is during the winter that you, like in the T-34, that you have pressurized air you pump in. And this is also another, the same button, electrical cooling water pump off. So there seem to be two lights with the same, one in white and one in red. And this is the dust, this means dust, how's it called? Staubabsaugventil. How you would translate that? Dust remover, ventilator closed, hatch. Here we have the oil in the transmission, the oil in the motor. Then here we have the cooling water and the oil for the motor. Here we have the speedometer. Here we have, interesting enough, another speedometer. Does this make sense? No, 100 times. This must be the RPM. Yeah, this is the RPM. This is apparently the current or something, ampere, I assume, volt, ampere, I don't know. Whatever that is. Because here we have a range. And over here, I don't know what button 1 or 2 is. This seems to be current or something, 5 ampere, 5 ampere, 5 ampere, 10 ampere, 10 ampere. Yeah, and here it's the lights, day and night. And apparently you can switch, yeah, you can switch the, this is for the panel to switch the lights from day to night, apparently. The lights here. And here again, it's on, off. This is, oh, this is a leaking pump. So this is for the, if you're in the water, you can, it's for the bow and the stern. Here again, we have the electrical cooling pump. Here we have the fuel pump. And here we have the compass. And here we have the smoke dispenser. And again, here we have the Begrenzungsüberschreitung, limitation thingy. Key W means Kernwaffen, which means atomic weapons. Protection system. Here we have also the same again, and here we have the detection apparently for radioactive and chemical weapons, and here we have the electronic oil pump. And this one is lit up if the rear door is open. Yeah, a lot of buttons. Here's a warning sign to lift the handbrake. Seems to be pretty prominent. And here's something in Russian again. Oh, and here's the lever for the Wellenbrecher, for the wave breaker in top of the on the front if you use it on the water, which I wouldn't recommend. So you can remove this one here and replace it with a night vision block. I won't do this right now, but yeah, this is possible to do, which is pretty cool. Here we can see out of the side, and yeah, and what is this? Did you open? Is this for opening the hatch?
This lever is for the hatch here. Yes.
Yeah, this is the lever for the hatch, which Tobias thankfully opened for me before. And here's the instructions how to cross a water obstacle, and I mean basically crossing the water. And here's also what to do before one drives in and after one drove in. And here it's Sicherungskasten or Sicherungen, circuit breakers. Yeah, here's the circuit breaker thingy inside, and this is entferne, remove, and I can't read this stuff here. Yeah, so pretty great vehicle. Is in great shape. Nice BMP. Oh, and here also the levers again for the water movement. This is for moving on land. This is if you drive into the water, and this is if you drive out the water. Wassereinfahrt and Wasserausfahrt. And here's the scheme for the gears. Here we see the radio again. So here you can see the wave breaker. Here we have an opening for oil, one for water. Here we have the main gun, and here we can see the Majutka. And this would be the loading hatch which we saw from inside before. Here you have your spade, because you have to have a spade. And yeah, and here are the 4 openings for the fighting compartments. From this side you can pass over to the turret, from this side you can't. Similar to the Marder.
73mm.
Yeah, and the main gun has a 73mm caliber, which is rather odd caliber, but well, why not? So I guess this concludes our video on the BMP-1.
Thank you to the Panzermuseum Munster for inviting me. Big thank you to Tobias for helping me out. Thank you to my supporters on Patreon and subscribe for making this possible. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.